It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December the 15th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes for the first time this season. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following ways, and due to a last-minute scratch by Sherwood, that changed what the lines were initially going to be, so here's how they ended up. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Parson and Novak and Evangelista, Trennan, Glass, and Sissons, Smith, McCarron, and Thomasina make up your fourth line. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carrier, Barry and Shen. Lankinen gets the start again the first night of back-to-backs. This is the third time in a row Kevin Lankinen has gotten the start on the first night of back-to-backs in UC Saros. Then, of course, we'll get the second night. So we'll be talking about UC Saros quite a bit tomorrow. 1:54 into the first period. Lankinen coming up with a save on Slavin's first shot on goal of the game for either of the teams. 2:40 into the first period. Lankinen coming up with a save on Martinuk. 3:25 of the first period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Pesci at 3:59 of the first period. Lankinen again going back to work, coming with a save on D'Angelo's redirect. The Carolina Hurricanes are all over the Nashville Predators in the first 4 minutes of this game. The Preds finally at 4:41 of the first period get a shot on goal as Ranta comes up with a save on Trennan. And then at 5:20 of the first period, it's Parsonen coming up with his sixth goal of the season to give the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. It was a backhander that squeaked through and trickled over the line. A little bit of a delayed reaction from everybody, but you got a chance to see the overhead, and it was clearly over the line into the net. Parsonen, good job putting the puck on net. It finds its way in. His sixth goal of the season gives the Preds a 1-0 lead. 6:09 of the first period. Lankinen comes with a save on Stahl at 8:37. Our first penalty of the game. Carries off to the box 2 minutes for hooking. Lankinen comes with a save on D'Angelo, but Nason comes up with his ninth goal of the season. A slick tip in front of D'Angelo's shot. That ties the game up at 1 apiece. Carolina gets on the board at 12:05 of the first period. So almost immediately after that, Trennan's off the box 2 minutes for tripping Tony D'Angelo. This time not getting the assist, getting the goal. His second of the season. Long shot with Bunting setting the screen. The fly-by distract, taking away Lankinen's vision and eyes just long enough. And D'Angelo ends up getting rewarded with the goal 2-1, just like that, in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. 15:03 into the first period. Scott Kiemi stopped by Lankinen at 15:37. Ranta comes up with a save on Sissons. 16:30. Ranta comes up with a save on Shen at 18:10. Burns is off the box 2 minutes for holding, but not much is happening for the Nashville Predators. As a matter of fact, they're not going to generate a single shot on goal on this power play until we get past the intermission. So we end the first period with Carolina leading Nashville 2-1. Carolina out shooting Nashville 11-7. On the clean sheet, we go 2 minutes and 7 seconds before we find our first action, and it's Ranta coming with a save on Cole Smith at 3:11 of the second period. Ranta coming with a save on Tomasino at the 3:47 mark of the second period. It's the captain, Roman Josi, with his seventh goal of the season, coming on a wraparound faster to the post than Ranta going behind the net. He ties the game up at 2 apiece. The captain, Roman Josi, leading his Nashville Predators back to the tie. But before they could even get that thing announced at 4:50 of the second period, it's Chatfield, his third goal of the season. It's a backdoor tap in, making it 3-2 now in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. And again, getting a backlog on the PA system here, trying to get the goals announced, but the Carolina Hurricanes just keep scoring. 5:09 now of the second period. Sebastian Aho with his 11th goal of the season. This was a one-time give and go, and Sebastian Aho is simply not going to miss when given that much time, that much space, and that much net to shoot at. Sebastian Aho's 11th goal of the season makes it 4-2 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Nashville Predators are suddenly just getting run out of the rink, and the Canes crowd is having a blast at this game. 6:07 into the second period. That's right, only 6:07 now. Sissons hits the post. Glorious chance for the Preds to get back in this one. 6:30 of the second. It's Ranta coming up with a save on Trennan. 8:06 of the second period. It's Ranta coming up with a save on Luzon at 8:41 of the second period. It's Jarvis off to the box. 2 minutes for interference, putting the Nashville Predators on a power play. Unlike their previous power play opportunity, this time they do get a shot on goal, and it's O'Reilly with the rebound jam, putting the puck back into the net for his 13th goal of the season. Now, the Predators are still down 4-3 here in the second period, but O'Reilly, slick job right here. The initial shot from out high, kicked out by Ranta. O'Reilly stops it with his skate, kicks it to his blade, fires it right in to a wide open net. And again, O'Reilly's 13th goal of the season. Just a highly, highly impressive season. But again, before even that could be announced, it's Natchez at 9:51 coming with his ninth goal of the season, giving the Canes back their 2-goal lead. Now make it 5-3. And this was a brutal turnover by Alex Carey in his own defensive end, throwing it right into the slot area, almost as if he was trying to create the low-high play for a primary assist. It was that good of a pass to Netches, and the Carolina Hurricanes now on top 5-3 here in the second period. We flip over the backside of the sheet, and we're still in the second period. It's 10-18. We're only midway through this game here. 10-18 in the second period. It's Barry with his first goal of the season. It was a 2-on-1. He looks off the defense and goes short side for the finish. It's Barry with his first goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators their fourth goal of the game and getting the Nashville Predators back in this one, now down 5-4 here in the second period. 11-16 of the second. It's Ranta coming with save on Evangelista, plus his follow-up, the best saves of the period, maybe the game, by Ranta. Lankinen comes up with a save on Chatfield at 13-14. At 14:52, it's Lankinen coming with a save on Sebastian Aho at 15:57. Stahl is off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. Ranta would come up with a save on Philip Forsberg, but the Predators would get called for too many men on the ice on the power play. How can that happen? 4-on-4 scenario for the next couple of minutes, but absolutely nothing would happen. As a matter of fact, the period after all of the excitement that happened in the first half of the period would kind of peter to its end here, and the Nashville Predators now are out shooting Carolina after 21-18, but are behind 5-4 on the scoreboard. 17 seconds into the third period, it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Fost at 1:09 of the third period. It's Ranta coming up with a save on Novak. At 3:18 of the third, it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Brady Shea at 5:42. Lankinen a save on Aho. At 6:34, Ranta a save on Tomasino, plus to follow up his best save sequence here of this third period. No doubt about that. At 7:18 of the third period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Stahl. At 10:09 of the third, Lankinen comes up with a save on Bunting. At 10:57 of the third period, Luzon, his second goal of the season. Evangelista's feed to the trailing defenseman Luzon, who goes ahead and cashes in, tying this game up at 5 apiece. This is incredible for Luzon to jump in, beat the forwards into the offensive zone, and cash in for his second goal of the season. Good job by Luke Evangelista to slow the play down and find the open Luzon. We've got a 5-5 hockey game with 9 minutes to go. 12:05 into the third period, it's Ranta coming with a save on Glass at 13:26. Out of the third period, it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Bunting. That's 16:45. Lankinen comes up with a save on Netches, and the teams are clearly now playing for the 1 point, and they're going to settle for overtime. Because at 19:06 of the third period is when we find our final save of regulation. It's Ranta coming up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi, one more time. We hit the end of regulation. Each team has now earned a point. The Nashville Predators, incredibly, come back from down 2 goals twice to force overtime. Carolina Hurricanes, for regulation, outshoot the Nashville Predators 30-28. Now, just like against Philadelphia, the Nashville Predators now coming into this game, perhaps not playing their best game, but getting to overtime. And when we get to that overtime session again, the Nashville Predators win the opening faceoff. The captain, Roman Josi, takes the puck back behind his own net, stalls, delays, holds for several seconds, and then a sloppy zone breakout. But Philip Forsberg then takes the puck, heads through the neutral zone, who looks like he's going to come in and take his patented wrist shot from the face-off circle, but instead decides to cut to the middle of the ice, outweights Ranta, takes a sick wrist shot, and just snipes for the game-winning goal in overtime for the second consecutive game. His 16th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 6-5 win in Carolina in overtime. Carolina would outshoot Nashville 30-29 in this game, but this is one of the most improbable victories. This was a game that for the last several years you could have just turned off in the second period because the Nashville Predators were not going to come back. As a matter of fact, the Nashville Predators hadn't had a 2-goal comeback this season. They came back from down 2 goals twice in this game. This is quite an impressive performance. Philip Forsberg, again with the overtime game-winning goal. And for the Nashville Predators, again, they're doing things that good teams do, coming back on the road against a good Carolina Hurricanes team. The Carolina Hurricanes had a great winning record on home ice, and very much we're looking forward to get through. Whether the Preds were opportunists and took advantage of the Canes in the third period as they started to run out of their legs after playing the previous night in Detroit, or if it was the Predators just believing in themselves and having the swag and the confidence to come back, led by O'Reilly and by Forsberg and by the rest of this Nashville Predators squad. The Preds got it done. Another improbable victory for the Predators' team against another very good team. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We made it through there, so it's like the Nashville Predators did with the 6-5 victory in overtime. Philip Forsberg, again, just incredible. We'll be back with analysis and so much more on the Renegades of Puck podcast.